Hey everybody, Chris from Divine Key, spelled QI, with your Workout Wednesday for this week. A little bit early, coming in, making sure everything's set up right. And welcome if you haven't been here before. On Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, we talk about ways to work our spiritual muscle. And it can be intuition, it can be a lot of different things. Today's topic is going to be about awareness. So, we're going to work our awareness muscle. And it's a pretty interesting thing to, to dive into. Awareness is thrown around a lot as a word in the spiritual community when you're meditating, or if you're working with cards, or just in general. We talk about consciousness and subconsciousness, and awareness comes up in that discussion as well. So, in today's Workout Wednesday, that's what we're going to be talking about is awareness. So, we just hit the 10 o'clock mark according to my computer. So, I want to welcome everybody to Workout Wednesdays. Chris from Divine Key, spelled QI, if you don't already know. And let's dive right in. I want to make these short and sweet, so here we go. So, let's talk about awareness. So, often when we talk about awareness, uh, the concept that comes to mind is you think about it, right? So, say one of the things that people talk about is when you're meditating, a certain way to meditate is bring your awareness to your center. So if you're sitting in meditation and you're thinking about what's my center, like I'm thinking about the core energy, I'm thinking about um, I guess back in the day they called it navel gazing because, bring your awareness to your solar plexus, which is right around your navel. Um, or bring your awareness to your third eye, which is around your forehead area. And the interesting thing is, I think as humans, we tend to think about those areas. So when they say bring your awareness to your solar plexus, you start thinking about uh, your belly button, and you start thinking about your lower area, and you're thinking about the energy and imagining it and what it would look like and what color it is. And what I want to bring to you is awareness is the use of all your senses, and it's also the use of none of your senses. Yes, I know that's a contradiction. How can it be all of your senses and none of your senses? It is the you're not thinking about it. You're not necessarily always seeing it or smelling it or touching it or tasting it. It is a sense. It is the sense of what is happening in the perimeters around you. So for me, my vision, when I see things, my vision is my bully sense. My vision likes to take over all the other senses. I'm a very visual person. The colors excite me and shapes, and I see things, and um, I see patterns. So when my eyes are open, that sense kind of takes over everything, and I kind of lose the awareness of my other senses. So one thing that we can try as part of this workout is identify which sense seems to be your bully sense, the one that likes to take over when it's engaged, and disengage it. So for me, if I really want to hear what you want to say, if you're talking to me and I really want to understand the words that you're saying, I need to shift my vision away from you. Because if I watch you while you're talking, my awareness is not really on the words. My awareness is on the visual that I'm getting. So often I will look off to the side, stare at a window, stare up on the wall, or even just close my eyes. And it's really hard because in our social environment, um, we're kind of trained that intensive listening, active listening, is to look right at the person. But I'm not hearing the words if I do that. So if you're ever engaged with me in real life and we're having a discussion and I seem to like shift my gaze away, it is because I'm really, really listening. So anytime that I want to activate awareness in a different way, I close my eyes because, or I really, really soften my gaze so that I'm looking at nothing but the floor. Because if I'm looking at something in any sense of the word, then I'm not really engaging my awareness in a fullness of the word. So that's one thing you can do, is to identify if you have a sense that really tends to take over and disengage that to activate the awareness of the other senses. So if we're talking about awareness in a physical sense, then so if I'm sitting in meditation and my eyes are closed, so I'm not engaging my sense of sight, so that's not distracting me. I'm not necessarily thinking about the meditation itself. I am actually disconnecting from thinking. So that's not saying no thoughts. That's not saying don't think about anything or get rid of the thoughts. That's just don't engage with the thoughts. Just like I'm not engaging with the visual input through my eyes, I'm not engaging with the thought process as well. Thoughts will come up. I might be thinking the whole time that the meditation is going on, but I'm not thinking about it. I'm not engaging in that thought. And my awareness is open. I have this sense of it's an openness. It's if you're sitting with your eyes closed and you're just breathing and your awareness is open to receiving. I keep closing my eyes as a demonstration. Sorry about that. Um, but you could be sitting with your eyes closed, just breathing and in meditation, and get a sense that a person has come into your personal space or a person has entered the room. They may not make a sound or there may not be anything physical, but you have a sense that something has shifted in the energy field around you. And that's kind of the awareness, is the sense of it as a whole. You feel it through all of you. It's not just a scent, and it's not just a visual, it's not just a sound, it's not just the feel of the air across your skin. It is a knowing that does not have to have an explanation. That's the awareness. It's bringing it to consciousness. So, as you sit, and if you're a meditator, just think about how do you bring your awareness to center. And center often indicates that main core part of your energy being. So, and that can be different for different people. And it really depends on the kind of meditation you do as well. I find guided meditations are distracting because it engages my sense of sound. And if I'm listening to a guided now they're good for some things. Like if I want to be guided to a specific point to gain an answer for an intention I've set, I love meditation for that. A guided meditation for that because it takes me on that journey. But if I'm meditating to become more in tune with me as a whole, then a silent meditation and just sitting meditation is good for that. And that's where the awareness comes in. So take a moment right now. Let's take a moment and disengage with one of your senses. And if it's sound, I'm sorry because that is my method to communicate with you right now. But you can do this on your own. So just let's take a moment and sit. For me, I'm going to close my eyes and just be aware. Like, just be. If you think about things, that's fine. Just let those thoughts go, travel through, and just be aware of whether or not you notice things that maybe you didn't notice before, or you sense something shifting. You can be sitting in meditation with your eyes closed, and the light can shift. And even with your eyes closed, you can sense the difference in the light. because of a bunch of different things. We are, our whole being is tuned to give us messages. And when I talk about awareness, it is about being conscious of the messages that are coming in all ways. So that's what we're going to do. So let's just take a minute, disengage whatever sense seems to take over your awareness, and I'm going to be quiet for about a minute, and let's just sit and see what comes through. Okay, it's been just about a minute, a little less than a minute. I have to say, it's very odd to be on a video and be silent. So I'm not sure how that works on your end, but on my end, it's very odd. Um, so, so today's Workout Wednesday is about working that awareness muscle, becoming aware of the things around you, and bringing it to consciousness. The awareness brings it from the subliminal, the subconscious, and brings it up so that you can notice it, address it, work with it, release it. There's so many things that awareness is so key to so many spiritual practices. So, getting a really good understanding of what awareness is and how it works for you. It's not thinking, it's not necessarily sensing with your senses, seeing, touching, feeling, tasting. It is a sense of all of you at once. So, when you become aware of something, you will open your consciousness for that information to be received by your very being. And it's about engaging the senses and disengaging the senses at the same time. Oh, what contradictions everywhere today. So, going forward, the weekly exercise I'm going to give to you, because I like to keep these short. So, the weekly exercise around awareness that I want you to work with is choose something that you want to bring awareness to. So, this is kind of fun because it can be something you want to manifest in your life. It is the first step of manifesting something in your life, actually. But it can be anything. It can be a sound that you want to notice. It can be a visual of something that you want to notice. Let's start with something fun and quirky. Whatever it is. Like, I want to be aware of feathers. I want to be aware of feathers. I want to be aware of blue feathers. Or I want to be aware of turtles and sea turtles and other types of turtles. Or I want to be aware of the sound of a cardinal. And the cardinal has a very distinct call, and they're very common in our area where I live. So I have a built in awareness to the sound of a cardinal because it has significance, because it's kind of a message from my mom. She was all about the cardinals. So, like, pick something that you want to become aware of throughout. You can do it for a day, you can do it for a couple days, you can change it every day. It's up to you. Uh, to do it for a full week is a lot, but at least for one full day, choose an item for the beginning of the day when you first wake up and say, you know, tell yourself, I'm going to become aware of this. I'm going to become aware of turtles. Turtles are very significant to me in my business. And keys, obviously, QI, key. So become aware of something. So choose something to become aware of, sound, taste, whatever it is. And then go through your day and then take note of the evidence of it and see whether or not it shows up more often than what you think it would, or less often than what you think it would. Um, there was a time in my life when I was making some major decisions, and I kept telling myself that the messages would be in angel feathers. So if I would see a feather, that was a message of yes to whatever question I was thinking of at that moment. And I found feathers everywhere, like everywhere, in places that you wouldn't normally see feathers, um, in elevators and on, like printed on shirts and in a book. I opened a book at the library and there was a feather used as a bookmark. Like, right? Um, how is that? That is definitely a message. So um, just be aware. That's the awareness. Choose something to be aware of and go through your day, 1 or 2 days, and take note of how often, um, the frequency of what it is you're aware of comes through your consciousness. And we can build upon that to do a lot of other things. It can help us release things or manifest things. And if you want to know more about that kind of work and what we can do, then reach out to me, message me on Facebook, text me. I'm all over the socials as Divine Key. And stop and see me if you want. I'm here most weekdays. So hope you're well. Be well, and we'll see you next week for Workout Wednesdays. Bye.